I've never felt more connected to the why of my work or to my mission of transforming the food system at community levels than working with Secretary Ross. She is a listener. When we went and visited school garden sites in Turlock, she was down in the dirt with the kids. She was standing with the teacher, soaking up every bit of information she could about what their experience is with farm to school. When we went to lunch with school nutrition directors and the school board, she was there. I wrote down that she was filling her plate with knowledge from these people. And then when we were developing our farm to school grant program, she was bringing back those conversations. She talks to millions of people every year going all over the state, but she remembers, she listens, and she really does care. She's our chief evangelist for farm to school. We're really grateful to have her here today. So Secretary Ross, I think you're going to get spotlighted and you can take over. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And I cannot start without saying thank you to you and the team and to Natalie. We put a lot of patience into bringing us to this point. And I'm just so proud of everything that you do. And I'm so inspired. And I have to say, of all the conferences that people say, we'd like for you to stay for the whole thing, this is one I wish I could be in every session. The planning for this is fabulous. It's the next best thing to being together, to enjoy kale or whatever. I mean, the chat box not only made me hungry, I was in giggles because of some of the conversations that are going on. But I also, you know, I just, when we think about what we've been through together this past year, and everything was about pivoting, right? Pivoting, adapting, responding. And even with everything that you all have done, I also think there's lessons learned, and there are some things that we did that can become a permanent part of what we can do working together. When I think about it, and I'm so thrilled yesterday that USDA announced the extension of the free lunches going, you know, free food for students and their families, how important that is. What have we learned from the schools who have partnered with food banks? What have we learned by those school gardens that all of a sudden went from in-person education to production for distribution of the food from those gardens? The school nutrition directors, the administrators, the teachers who on top of everything else became experts in the technology of keeping students engaged by Zoom. I mean, when we think about the parents that were working from home, Nick would be one of those, working from home and teaching, you know, teleteach, telework, telecrazy, that's what I am. What we have the opportunity to do through this conference is to think big about how we take a more integrated approach around the classroom, the cafeteria, and the community. You know, we're lucky here in California that delicious, nutritious, yes, those two go together, delicious, nutritious food is grown literally around the corner in every spot of California. And the opportunities that that present for us to better connect with our local farmers, to do procurement in a way that puts dollars back into our local economy, job creation, and being able to support farmers of color, farmers from different cultures that bring us the culturally appropriate food into our cafeterias. When we think about the opportunity for students to have those experiences of visiting that farm around the corner, taking the classroom out into the garden, whatever that might be, involving the parents to perhaps we can really expand this idea of food boxes going home with recipes so that whole families are learning how to use the great produce that we grow in the state. This program is the launch to that really big thinking. And I want to thank everyone who is participating, who helped us get that first farm to school incubator program launched, to everyone that took the time to submit grants. I wish, Nick, that there was a way for us to fund every one of the great ideas that I know were there. I'm so grateful to the governor and to the first partner for making this program a priority. When everything else was cut from the budget, this grant program and the ability to finally fund 4 full-time staff people. We've gone from a dream with baling wire. That's what we say in farm country. Put it together with some duct tape and some baling wire. We now have 4 dedicated, passionate, gifted, talented people to make this go. That was because of all of you being advocates. And it's because we know that this program matters. So it was that one new program that got funded in our budget. And the governor has again in January proposed an extension of this program. And he acknowledged very clearly in his 2.5-hour budget presentation this year, thanks to First Partner, what a great advocate we have with her and with our Superintendent of Education, Tony Thurman, great partners for us at the Department of Education. So I'm looking forward to having the realization of something that I wanted to have happen 10 years ago. We finally have made it happen because the legislators understand the importance of this program. Administrators know the importance of this program. We have a chance to gather around a table that brings everyone together to learn together, to take our dreams and put them into actual operations, to implement farming and feeding people for the good of our families, for the good of our students, for the good of our communities. So with that, Nick, I'm glad this is being recorded because I will be checking in and I'm going to be calling you for what did we learn? What was the most exciting part? I know you didn't serve a farm to fork lunch on any of the 3 days, but I'm really looking forward to what we do from this going forward and to getting back on the road, to visiting all your schools, all your nonprofits, every community. My husband's had me in the house long enough for this past year. He's ready to put me on the road again. So thank you, everyone. I am so thrilled with what you are doing, and I'm so humbled to be a part of it. Thank you.